description page that I gave you, though, it's the most apt description. It says a tiny graveyard in a cow pasture. Yeah, that's it, except it's not a cow pasture anymore. Oh yeah, I just gave one to every car to start with, but I've got. I want to ask you while we're here. About the lawn church. Or the lawn
Yeah, it's my nephew.
Cool.
Well, he lived right over here where Paul Johnson were. He lived, yeah, Olson's lived across the road, and it's him.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad to see somebody.
Clark,
Oh,
Margaret Clark,
sure.
after they both went down to Arizona.
Oh, okay, I know.
Yeah, and his sister had she told me that she saw that.
Cool.
She moved back here. She was very charming. Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, this is a very small cemetery, needless to say. There's supposed to be 5 burials in it, but they didn't know where all 5 of them were. But there's a Ditto infant, and that's their last name, John Ditto. They had a baby. There's 2 Garrett boys, Ernest and Albert. And they were, this is a very tragedy. It says a sad and fatal accident befell Ernest Garrett, age about 22, not far from the home of his father, Robert Garrett, who's a very well-known Civil War soldier in our area. While cleaning out a well belonging to the school district of Berea, the bucket became detached from the rope when about 15 feet, the young man falling struck him squarely on the head.
Oh.
So he died in this well incident. And then there is another Garrett boy buried here that was killed in a, and he was a young man, he was actually married, he was a railroad brakeman, and he got killed in a train wreck. Then there were 2 other Garrett boys, and I think they were moved to Hemmingford, and I don't know why some were and some weren't, but they were killed in a, they dug a hole in the side of a hill to play. They were just little kids, and it collapsed on them, and they suffocated.
Are they relation to the Garretts somehow?
Yes. And then there's a young school teacher, and she came out here to answer an ad, and all I have for records is her name was Miss Watt. And she had no family, answered a mail order ad, and came out here to teach school. But that fun one is Billy Morton, and that's whose stone you see here. And you have this information on what I gave you. Let me see if I'll just read it to you because I think it's kind of fun. Early in April of 1888, a young man, 26 years of age, William Billy Morton, came to an untimely end. He and his young wife lived 7 miles southeast of town. They had a quarrel, and the young wife went home to her parents, the Lucius Metcalfs. Neighbors named Shook aggravated the situation by carrying tales, finally taking Morton over to Metcalf's and starting a row. Morton hit Metcalf over the head with a wooden club. The latter got up from the ground and ran to his house to get his Winchester rifle. When he came out, young Morton was 300 yards away, running like a deer. 2 shots went wild. The third one got Morton in the leg, splintering one bone. The Shups loaded Morton into a wagon and took him into Nonpareil, which I think was just a little bit south of here. A week later, gangrene set in and amputation seemed the only answer. The doctors set to work in an open-air building with a fair-sized audience. How serious. HIPAA be damned. We're going to just watch. Fredeline Abley and Smith Tuttle, Civil War veterans, both of whom had been wounded in service, assisted. Because, you know, they'd seen it all, so they were good physician's assistants. Dr. Miller gave chloroform. Dr. Smith performed the surgery. Morton died later that night. Lucius Metcalf was charged with murder. A warrant for his arrest was issued, and R.M. Hampton, a young deputy sheriff, and Ira E. Tash went to the Metcalf home where the man was arrested. The trial was held in the fall term of the court. James Danskin and B.F. Gilman prosecuted. Judge William H. Westover, who's buried at Marsland, by the way, and Tom Redland defended. Judge Moses P. Kincaid of the Kincaid Act. The jury of 10 men under 25 and 2 older men decided on manslaughter. Metcalf got 3-year sentence and was out in 2 years. Today, a low, white marble shaft leans wearily against its base in the cow pasture. The inscription, clear and easily read: William Morton, age 22, April 1888. His young widow ordered the stone set there soon after his death. There's also supposed to be a small stone here for the child's grave. And 4 young boys who died of diphtheria have been moved, 2 Kennedy brothers and 2 Langford boys. And then a young lady, Miss Watts, perhaps others were buried here, but have moved or are not marked. the infant of John Ditto is believed to be the child's grave there. Well, all those stones are gone. But frontier justice and frontier medicine, you gotta love it. You know, they could have been, if they were small flat stones, they could be blown over. And I believe, Trish, I think your grandma, May Mannion, was the one that got all these things fenced in and got all these signs done back in the early 70s when she put that book out. She was very instrumental in getting that done.
That's what the book funds were for, to pay for the...
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize that. That's why all of them have these rough wood stones, or rough wood signs, which are, you know, holding up pretty well, all things considered. But, you know, like that Box Butte City one, they're starting to need a little wear and a little love and tenderness. Now, I noticed that we didn't go to the Box Butte one, but there's a gate there with the name on it made out of metal, and it would probably be nice if these eventually got replaced with